So like I said, I'm reading the Bible again, okay? But this time I'm going more and more deep than last time. I'm still reading it in the chronological order, and when you go in the app, like I said, Bible app, and you look at the timeline, you have to start to John. I was saying you have to start to John 1 to 5, okay? Where John explains that the Word, Jesus Christ, it was with God and everything, right? Now, by reading these five verses and going deep, you understand that of course Jesus is the Word and he was with the Father at the same time, is distinct from the Father, but is the Father. So in the beginning he was with the Father, so he is eternal, right? Then it's important to note, so if you look in verse 3, that all things, all creation is made through him. All creation is made to him. Without him, nothing would have been created. Like we can see in chapter 8, verse 3, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. This means that the Father, of course, utilized him to create the things. So, Jesus Christ is the creator of this world. Alright? We can say that the Father is the creator of this world, but it's Jesus that created this world, because through him all things were created. Then it means that the one that gave to Moses the law is Jesus. Now, we know that Jesus is the Father, Jesus is the essence of the Father, so it makes sense. But if Jesus is the one that gave the law to Moses, you know what I'm trying to get, okay? Now, right now, this is the first part of my reading. Now, I will start from Genesis, like Hub, Bible Hub. I was saying, like Bible Hub says, and, deep study. So, Genesis 1, and I think I'm going to stop for today. Very, very interesting chapter, okay? And, honestly, Genesis already done a deep study, if you remember, like where I go verse by verse in my Google Docs. But I'm gonna just state some things. So first of all, heaven is not where God is. Heaven is the firmament. Firmament, he called the firmament heaven. So when you look at the sky, alright, that's heaven, alright? The kingdom of heaven then is where God is. So the firmament is heaven, and this firmament separates the water above from the water that are beneath. So it separate at the start when the earth wasn't still formed. The firmament separate the water above us. So when you look at the sky, okay, there's literally water above us, okay? Then, of course, it makes the dry lands appear where we are right now, and he called Earth, right? Another interesting thing is that life begins before the sun was created, because it's God that gives life, it's Jesus that gives life, right? Because we can see that vegetation was here before the sun was created. It's like God was making sure that, some BS of today was, everything was clear. You know what I mean? Because with this, the heliocentric model doesn't make sense. Because if life was on Earth, with all this, the Earth was created, life was on Earth before the sun was created, then you cannot say that the sun, no, the Earth moves around the sun. Now, nowadays it seems something stupid. Of course, saying it sounds stupid, right? Because now we have been brainwashed, right? Now, I don't want to get inside another rabbit hole, because I will talk for too much. But NASA means deceive, beguile. And it's the same word that God used when the serpent was tricking Eve. When Eve said, the serpent beguiled me, the serpent deceived me, she utilized the name NASA, which in Hebrew is Nasha. Now, I'm just throwing So right now, okay, after he created the sun and the moon, which they give light by themselves, because he called the greater light and the lesser light, alright? So science, all that stuff, okay? God says, set them in the firmament. So they set them in heaven, in the firmament, in the sky. They are inside the firmament, okay? This means if the sun, the moon, and the stars are inside the firmament, okay, what you see, then it cannot be in the space, right? So space as we think today doesn't exist. Now, you can be, oh man, this sounds stupid. It's the word of God. I will take it as it is, man. Like I said, do your research. Remember, if you take off God from the equation, everything is gonna be more easier. Like, I'm a science guy, guys. Like, before I got saved, I loved science, studying the universe, the space, and everything, right? When you have science as God, it's easier to get rid of God. I'm just saying, just from Genesis 1, many things, start to become a little bit strange, you know what I mean? For today, I'm done. Okay, bye.